Good morning. We are in Tokyo, Japan. Right now is like 9:30 a.m. Because I trade really late, 9:30 is pretty good for me to wake up. This is the view from my hotel. I'm like just outside of the city, so I'm like in a quieter area. All right, we're gonna do a room tour right now. So when you first walk in, we have all my shoes, a mirror, we have a piano. They've got like some coffee. I still have to make, it's like the powder stuff. In here, like there's free drinks. And what's cool about this is like you can make matcha here. They give you the whole whisk and everything. You have a humidifier. My desk, this is where I work. Now this is like an iPad they have. I haven't tried this out yet. It's still charging. I think you can play music and stuff. King size bed is really comfortable. Have like the whole, sink. This book, it's not a book. It was like, it had amenities in here. So I took everything out. And then I have like the face masks, hair dryer stuff. Have a whole tub in the shower. Come over here. The bidet, it's heated seats. It's like super warm. And then like, of course, you can flush it and then you have the spray stuff. I don't have the best experience with bidets. The first time I ever saw a bidet, I tried pressing the buttons. I thought it was a flush. I'm trying to flush it. But then I picked the one where it shoots water. So it shot up. It shot at me. So I moved out the way. I quickly shut the lid of the toilet. That was a really horrific experience. Things on the 16th. This breakfast is crazy. Look at what I'm eating. All right, let's start over here. Ramen. There's like sushi rice and all the pickles. This is natto. It's a fermented soybean. Omelet with crab. Then we have fruits, a peach Danish, guacamole, and shrimp. We have a whole flight of drinks. These are like juices and stuff. Some milk, and that's it. With a view. I feel a little underdressed here. Like everyone's in their going out clothes. I guess they're heading out, and I'm in pajamas. Oh, it's the liquid stuff. It's like mushy. Oh, we have the crab meat. This is fermented beans. I didn't like it the first time because it tastes like, what does it taste like? Wine? It's not bad. I'm gonna let my food settle before I work out. I took a trade earlier this week on Microsoft. Okay, so I did puts on this day. When you know price is in a bear trend, you just enter puts. Basically, price broke the prior day movement, moved around here overnight, and so you can see that break of that low right there. So let's draw that. So that's like a low that was broken, and usually when price breaks a prior day range or something, it has a higher potential to continue in that trend. So it's like you're just looking at probabilities at this point. All the trades are just like, there's no indicators. You're just looking at candlesticks to trends, enter in that direction. Like it's that simple. Just keep it really simple. After the morning push broke pre-market low, I entered on this third candle, like the first red one. In these movements, when it's slower, you have to have a stopwatch just a bit higher than usual because like you don't want to be wicked out of a trade. For all my trades, I don't have a target that I'm looking for. I don't have a target P&L. I don't have a certain area that I know I will exit. Everything is just based on reactions. Once I enter a trade, I'm just judging the exit based on what's the most logical reason to exit. And usually that's when I start seeing weakness in the candlesticks, like usually have too much consolidation, too many wicks, or it comes into a really strong area, like a bigger support. Then if I see like all these confirmations that price is likely to reject, then I exit. This is such a good spot. Like this place is right outside the main area, like the tourist area. So like the main places here are Shibuya and Shinjuku. I just like to sit here and admire just the skyline. If you look down, there's like a whole park area there. You can walk along that boardwalk, and then over there is a mall and a lot of offices. All right, what am I gonna wear? Fit check, black and black, Nike shoes. That is so fun. Oh shoot. Oh. let's talk about trading with a 9-to-5 job. That stuff is so hard. I didn't want to trade any other market. Like I didn't want to trade futures or forex. So I wanted to trade options. I would always work out before work. So like work started at 8 o'clock. I would wake up super early, work out before work. I did all my charting before I got into the office. I used my pay time off to trade 1 hour a day, right at open 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. just because like the best moves are right in the morning that I didn't want to miss. And do not tell anyone at work that you trade. They don't need to know your business. Trading or not, they should not know anything personal. I know like telling everyone like you're really good, you're making money, like it feels good, it's an ego boost, but you do not need that ego boost. Just keep it private until you make it, or just keep it private till you leave. The only time people at work discovered like what I was doing during that free time was when I left. That's when I said, okay, this is what I'll be doing and this is why I'm quitting. So like the only time people should know is when you make it. Don't tell anyone what your plans are. A private life is a peaceful life. The people at work are not your friends. They're just coworkers. You're there to do your job. You do your job, you leave. I knew I wasn't gonna be there long. I was gonna quit and do day trading. I didn't care about, staying longer, coming in earlier to, do more work just to get a raise, because that raise, I could make it in one trade. When you know like what you want or like the long-term goals, the little stuff, like you realize like how little it is compared to like the bigger picture. So it's like trading. You always got to check the bigger time frame before you go to the little time frame. Top-down analysis. Bigger time frame always trumps tinier time frame. So if you can match your tinier time frame with a larger time frame, you're in the right direction. I don't think I'm gonna lift any heavy weights today, just like stretching and mobility, because I don't know, my body feels a little sore today. So I'm just gonna be like, at least moving it around, I don't think they have any bands to stretch out here. But you could hold a band to do that. I'm headed off for lunch now. This is the fit. I actually bought this coat and these shoes last week here. I packed really light on the way to Japan so I could buy a lot of stuff. It's about a 10-minute walk to get matcha. I've tried a lot of matcha here, but there's just one spot that I really think is the best. Going the right way. This one's the best one. Hi, konnichiwa. Could I get this one? Thank you. This is so green. This was $9. Best matcha. I pretty much had all the flavors. I always get a sushi and a mochi. My flight back home is supposed to be like in 2 days. And I don't think I want to go back. I'm probably just going to stay for a while. I did look it up. Like, you can stay in Japan for maximum 90 days. We'll see how long I stay this time. Hi. Can I get a hot tea? We have the sea urchin, salmon roe, tuna. I think that's squid. And then ginger and wasabi.
You stay here or visit?
I'm visiting. All right, so to give you an idea, this meal cost $17.37 USD. Let's see my piano skills. I'm really good at this. Ready? Psych! That's it. The first time I went to Canada was 3 years ago. There was this store, all the stuff was like $5. So I've stocked up. I have so many shirts from there. I don't really care about expensive brands. Like, as long as what I buy has quality and it's practical, that's really all I care about. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's see what we're working with. I always start with SPY first just to get a understanding of the bigger picture. I just look at 1 hour time frame and see like what's going on, support resistances, market structure. Is price bullish, is it bearish, or is it sideways? The easiest way to trade is if you trade in the morning trend. So right at open, there's going to be a strong push. It's either going to be bullish or bearish, or if it's sideways, you just stay out. So once price has determined either direction, you just have to look for a setup in that direction. That's the best way to trade because you're trading with the trend. If you're trading against the trend, there's usually a higher chance of some kind of fake out or a reversal really fast. So I want to show you like how to understand the bigger picture. Microsoft right now is in a downtrend. You can see like an obvious drop, but like, why is this happening? Daily chart, what we have here is a really large gap, and it's going to be filled really soon. Like, it's been filling the past couple days, and you want to know that ahead of time. Where it has to be filled is like right there, so like you just highlight the area. There is a bigger gap like right here. You can see that jump, so that gap will get filled. There's no promise when, but it'll happen. So like a common question is like, how far should you look back in price? Because like sometimes it's like, do we look back a year, 2 years, whatever? If I'm looking, I zoom out on everything, like everything that happened, where current price is, like when was the last time price was in that area? And then I look at that area, like, do I see any obvious support levels or like resistance levels to guide me? If it's just straight up choppy and there's no guiding level, then it's not really significant anymore. I just kind of look at current movement, the current price, where is it at? And because it's the most recent price action, it's going to be the most trustworthy because those levels are fresher. Everything back then is weak now and it's not even showing consistency. So then I just focus on the 1 hour and we're moving. We're bearish right now. 11:30 is when trading starts. This is what my chart looks like. SPY, QQQ, Microsoft, AMD, and Amazon. You can see there's like literally nothing, just lines. My focus right now are the ETFs. So I have the contract ready. Okay, invalidated. I'm not entering this. Price is actually pretty predictable. When you study the charts or just you spend hundreds and hundreds of hours just staring at this every day, you will notice all these like patterns of movement, and that's how we're able to build on a strategy because stuff repeats itself. Like, we're looking at probabilities. It's not like 100% promise of anything. It's more like, okay, based on statistics, majority of the time, this happens. So like, if this happens, how am I going to react based on that? Look at that reversal. I was thinking of getting calls here. Look at that. I'm just going to watch. Like, I'm going to watch what happens right now, what price does, just analyze, learn from moves, like whatever I just said, that price would be weak, that price would not go. I was right. And why? How did I know that? It's because I've been studying. It's because I pay attention to like all these little details every day. It's the same thing every day. Like, you can predict so many movements in price. I'm going to watch this for a bit, but then I think I'm going to like call it a night.